Hey guys, Target here. After the last video, there's been a lot of interest in the whole blink mirror arrow idea with the DK bow, and I did a bunch of messing around with different bows, different setups, messing around with blink arrow, messing around with traps, and it all kind of started because of this bow, the DK crafted bow. Now, I've been doing a lot of reading, and I want to make a few clarifications, and just this video is a great example of the rabbit hole that is PoE. You go in playing caustic arrow, you find out how stupid decay scaling is, so you go, okay, screw that, let's do some decay focused stuff. You make a passing comment about maybe it being good in mirror blink arrow trapper builds. One or two people in the comments say, oh, that sounds really cool. Then you end up spending a few hours on the forums, testing different stuff out, and so on and so forth. So, right off the bat, decay does not scale with attack damage. Does not. It should not scale with trap or totems. I tested it with traps. I did not notice an increase, and traps got the poison double dipping stuff shenanigans changed before. Traps should not affect this. So by default, the only things which should affect this, assuming you're using split arrow, would be chaos, damage over time, projectile. If you add an AoE, then select with AoE tag. That's that. The exceptions to the rule would be spell damage for both Vortex and Essence Drain, because they have the unique thing of spell damage applies to damage over time for those two specific skills. So that's kind of decay stuff out of the way. How does mirror and blink arrow scale? Now this is actually a really interesting one, and this is like something I didn't know. So projectile does not scale mirror or blink. So decay with mirror blink arrow would be kind of awkward, because your trees, and I've spent a while looking at trees, just look all over the place. So this would be an example of what a blink arrow tree should look like. It's doing necro stuff to get loads of minion damage. This is just self-cast blink arrow. This isn't blink arrow trap, and I'll go into that later. So you're picking up a bunch of skill effect duration to make your stuff last longer. You get the efficient minion damage. You don't invest into minion attack speed because they have a capped 1.8% attack speed, which you can very easily reach. So you don't need to worry too much about running like stupid haste, Val haste, all that crazy stuff, because they have capped attack speed. Very, very important. Now, this is what a base sort of tree would look like. Now you'll notice that there is no projectile damage in this tree, which is a good way of scaling decay. There's no area damage in this tree, another good way of scaling decay. So on and so forth. And when it came to working out how to scale decay with blink and mirror arrow trap, I ended up just becoming more interested in the blink and the mirror arrow trap setup. And that's what I think I'm going to do potentially for the next character. I want to do a little bit more like testing around in my head and reading through forums and stuff. But this just looks pretty cool to me. So how does this like core concept work for anyone who wants to test it out? Anyone who has a character in standard or witch with this free respec? I haven't got any free respecs in standard. Feels bad, man. Feel free to test something like this out. So the base setup is you get just a bunch of free minion damage, skill effect duration, offering skills effect to you. Minion damage, desecrate extra corpses, damage if you've consumed corpses, increase attack and cast speed for corpses, blah 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 blah. Cast speed dip damage, very important this one. Auras you cast grant 10% increased damage to you and your allies, so you and your allies. Or as you cast, grant 5% increased attack and cast speed to you and your allies. You and your allies affected by auras have 20%, so that's just the base 20% Ele Ulres. Now the damage and attack speed, that's for each aura. So in this build, I would run 3 auras. I would run Wrath, Anger, and a level 1 Clarity. The Wrath and the Anger would be on Generosity to give super Wrath and Anger to my minions, and the level 1 Clarity is just there to proc that effect. Now, that's enough that you need like little to no investment in aura reservation. You can get away with running this, or you can just run a Alpha's Howl and throw those 3 things into the Alpha Howl. They get the +2, and you're juicy. Well, you don't need the clarity in there, but anyway, you get my point. You can also just run Enlighten and need nothing, but blah blah blah. So you do all of that stuff. Now, the other important thing is you obviously cannot leech as a mirror blink arrow summoner, especially the way we're doing it, where all of our damage is going to our minions. We have generosity on our auras, so we're doing sod all. We're also using EE. Another good thing about putting generosity on our auras means that we don't do any fire or lightning damage, meaning you can use either added cold somewhere in your jewelry or use ice shot in a curse on hit setup, so your minions get super Ele pen. Seems good, man. Because it's non-crit, because getting minions to crit is very awkward, that means you can very easily run Ele Focus on your minions. Gets a bunch of easy Scalarino. Again, we can't make use of Ele Overload because this is for us, not for our minions, so screw that. And also, we're going to be using the Lionized Glare for our minions because it gives them shit can't be evaded. So, da-doom. Pogu Shampoo. Now you go, why have I gone so heavily into flasks? Well, the points are low, the defense is alright. It's 175% maximum life with 5 jewels at only level 85. Actually, at level 83, because we'd go Oak, Skill. You could do Oak, Skill, Oak, and also get this Endurance charge if you want to run Enduring Cry. But most people seem to have forgotten that skill even exists anymore, so who keeps up Enduring Cry in 2K17? Am I right? Yes. Your ideal helm enchant would be Mirror Arrow, reduce cooldown. Whoop. Where did that helm go? I literally had it in my bags a second ago. But you can get Blink Arrow cooldown recovery on the cheaps. So I got this. This was back when I was messing around with Hidden Potential. And I picked this up for like a couple of alks. Haha, seems good. One other important thing, I've been doing a lot of reading up, and we are going to hopefully buy this. Oh, also this guy has done a lot of just. I'll link this guy's threads down below. There's a lot of very good information. This helped clear up a lot of my questions when it came to Blink and Mirror Arrow. I love people who do clear write-ups and they actually know what they're doing. Most of the builds you find on forums are kind of all out of shape. I had to go through like 8 or 6 different builds, so I found like a really succinct one which made sense. Really PogChamp. Dariidar. Another good thing which I'm going to play around a bit with, and this is also another thing to note, is since it's very easy to cap out your minions at 1.8% attack speed, you get to run Bone Offering to get capped block using a rearguard quiver. Now, using a drill neck would be really nice, but getting to piercing shots is awkward as all hell. You can use projectile weakness, which I will be using. I'll be doing curse on here, Ele Weakness, Proj Weakness, and then if I got another +1 curse, it'd be enfeeble or temp chains or something like that. Now, the reason why we're doing that is we put the pierce gem into our minion. So they get 50%, they get the other 50% from Proj Weakness. Proj Weakness doesn't apply to Drill Neck. So if you used a Drill Neck in the current setup, it wouldn't give you 100% increased damage. Because of that, because we don't make very good use of Flesh Offering unless you want to use it just for personal movement speed, which is perfectly fine, and I will test that around, you can use Bone Offering to very easily get block cap. So you're looking at a build with a decent life pool, very easy, very budget, which also can achieve block cap or close to block cap. Definitely block cap if you run a Roomies. Without Roomies, you're like slightly under. If you want to get block cap without a Roomies, you could put a Lionized Fall here. Yeah, remember? You guys all remember? And then we could convert this into block chance. So we could actually rebuild the block bow build. Just this is what the cat meant when it said play block bows. It meant this. It didn't mean gladiator. So that's all kind of cool. What did I want to show you? I wanted to show you something, and I lost my train of thought because I was like, this guy. Oh, yeah. So another really cool thing is the Blood Grip Amulet. Now, this is an amulet that I'd kind of forgotten even existed, but it's really good for these kinds of builds because it costs nothing, so that's already a nice thing. But it gives you the 100% increased life recovery from flasks. That, in conjunction with all of the flask effectiveness we have, means you press once and it's like ba-ching. We also pick up the reduced flask charges used because again we can't leech, so this means that we can run like 1 flask, 2 flasks if you're doing loads of boss stuff, and you just super heal, and it's like jink super heal because the amulet itself has 100% increased life recovery, and then you get another 50% in here, and then you also get the flask effectiveness in here. So what would be like a 1k flask ends up healing you for close to 3k on use. That's just like a Seething Divine 3k at a time. Pretty good. Pretty good. If you wanted to go really ham sandwich, you could put a belly of the beast on top of that, but that might just be a bit excessive. But you could do that. But the main reason why this is nice is you can easily get corrupted ones on the cheaps. We can try and get this one. 5C. AFK. What did I expect? But the main thing that you are looking for is you can get corrupted minion damage as an implicit. I really do not know what I expected this late into the league. But yeah, I hope that cleared up some scaling clarifications, because there was a lot of confusion in the last video. That was very much me reacting to how insane Decay is, and Decay really is insane. To make very good use of Decay, you most likely want to be doing something with Vortex or Essence Drain. You could very easily make a very juicy Vortex build out of that. But anyway, for now, this is what I'm sort of thinking about. Again, tip-tap with your ideas. I'm Taki. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Peace.